I love my progressive spectacles. Switched to progressive several years ago and just loved it. They're expensive, but you know what? They are fabulous. But because they're expensive, when it came to my sunglasses, I thought I'd just stay with regular lens and there was no need for progressives since I didn't see myself reading too much with my sunglasses on. And the other day, when I needed to get myself a new pair of sunglasses, something interesting happened. Hello and welcome to another edition of Chai with Pai, our series of videos where I share simple lessons and stories which can help all of us become just a little bit better. So I walked into the spectacle store to try and get myself a new pair of sunglasses. So he got me a new pair of lens, 3,500 rupees, and he asked me, would you like a new frame? But my old Ray-Ban looked pretty good and I said, no, I'm quite happy with the old one. So I should have been walking out after paying 3,500 rupees when the optician looked at me and said, you know, since you wear these progressives, you will never be very happy with the plain lens. And I told him that, you know, for a sunglass, I don't really need it. And then he explained to me, no, what he's heard from a lot of his customers is when they look at a map while driving, it helps that they have progressive lenses. Seemed to make sense. And I succumbed and I said, okay, I'll take the progressives. That would then be 25,000 rupees, said the optician. Damn. And then as I was getting fitted out with my new progressives, he asked me, you know, if I'd like that anti-glare coating, that would be only 1,500 rupees more. And I said, since I'm spending 25,000, what's another 1,500 rupees? And I said, yeah, I'll take the anti-glare. And then he said, what we also recommend is that you should put the Polaroid film because that takes care of the UV rays and cuts them off. And it's only 1,000 rupees. Fair, sure, I said. And then, as I was about to pay up for it, he said, you know what? This old frame of Ray-Ban is actually in very good shape, but I'm worried. I'm worried because it's a discontinued model. So God forbid, if the frame was to break tomorrow, we wouldn't be able to fit those lenses into another frame. So he said, I recommend you buy another frame. And that's how it happened, that what should have been a 3,500 rupee purchase ended up becoming a 35,000 rupee purchase. But it got me thinking, maybe we all succumb to this. We get into this slippery slope where a little bit more suddenly doesn't seem to make a difference. Maybe we should watch out. You know, you could be in this mode where your organization is trying to implement some new IT system. And because you're spending a lot of money, all those bells and whistles start to look like saying, oh, they'll only cost a little bit more, let me take it. And I'm sure it's happened to you when you've tried to buy a music system or a new television set, where for a few thousand rupees more, they tell you you can get a whole lot more. Be careful. You don't want to be the kind of guy who ended up spending 35,000 rupees in a store where 3,500 might have done the trick. The story doesn't end there. As I walked out of the store with that old Ray-Ban frame in my hand, it suddenly struck me, why waste money? Why throw away this old frame? Maybe I should get myself a regular pair of lenses so that this becomes a backup sunglass. Sure, sir, said the optician, only 3,500 rupees more. Watch out then for that slippery slope. Be careful that you don't fall for the temptation of spending just a little bit more when you spent a lot already. That's all in this week's edition of Chai with Pai. Enjoy your chai with or without your sunglasses.